Good morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, today we're talking about the Bitcoin dust. Has it settled? And we've identified some new support and resistance levels. I told you guys to wait until Friday. We may have to readjust our target zones out here. And indeed, Champagne has readjusted the sniper scope here, the crosshairs. I wanted to share with you guys my new support and resistance levels for the bits. But first, let me shout out all my Champagne Crypto Maniac boomers out there who are tuning into this live broadcast. This indeed is a live broadcast. Make sure you're touching all the buttons, the like, the subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding ding. Stay tuned into the good crypto word that we spread here daily in the foxholes of the blockchain battlefield trenches. Good morning to D-Rock, the revolutionist, Marlon Jones, Rafterman, and the rest of the kaboomers, the five-star generals here in the population of the chat box. The strongest crypto maniacs worldwide are congregating here with Champagne Crypto, the voice, and the rest of the boomers out here. Good morning, Queen's Racist, Lucian Bobak. Only day one crypto maniac savages here left in the trenches. We've had some casualties of war out there. Young baby bear cubs killed in action out there. Some are MIA, missing in action as well. Some of the tubers have gone MIA. You don't see them as much anymore. But the boomers remain booming on the field, stronger than ever, looking like 300 crypto Spartans by the end of the year, with the Bitcoin on the tip of their spear, ready to claim back what's there, stay healthier and wealthier with every pump, with every lift, with every trade. Indeed, this is a live broadcast. If you're just tuning in, has the Bitcoin dust settled? We're going to be talking about that, and we will be identifying new support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. Good morning to Queen's Races. Bang, bang, kaboom, champ. Buying the dip all day. Shout out to Queen's Races. Shout out to Lucian Bobak, Revolutionist, D-Rock, and the rest of the boomers. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. See how healthy or ill the markets are looking today. Turn off these coins. Share the screen. Hit refresh. Stay tuned in to the latest mathematics over here on the coin market cap. Currently trading all the markets at 183 billion in all of crypto worldwide. Slimmer than we'd like to see it. It looks like the crypto market caps have decided to go on a fast here for the fourth quarter of 2018. I told you guys I didn't think things were going to kaboom by the new year, but we still have over a month left. So hopefully we can see a kaboom like no other. Let's check out Bitcoin's price now after a meltdown this week, touching a low about 52 or 53 before springing up to the price that it's at right now, 55.97, getting closer back to that $5,600 range. Ripple, no reason to talk about it, although I did notice right now that Ripple has surpassed Ethereum on the coin market cap. Ethereum at $177. Bitcoin Cash is down. Looks like the Bitcoin Cash hard fork is still settling out there. A lot of people have attributed this market meltdown to the quarrel that's going on over there between Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. We have Stellar at 24 cents. We got EOS at 456. Litecoin at $42. Tether doesn't seem to hold the dollar there, but it's at 99 cents. We got Cardano holding the line there at 6 cents. Monero, one of my favorites, at 87. Tron at 1 cent. IOTA at 41 cents. And Dash at 136. As the rest of the boomers tune into this live broadcast, Lucian says, when Larimer said Bitcoin is more centralized than EOS, I laugh. Now after this BCH thing, what Dan said doesn't seem that crazy anymore. Let's see where all this goes to. I think there's still a little bit more hype than some may expect with this centralization thing. Let's keep our eyes focused on this on the field. But you are right that Dan did say that, and it's worth listening to. Revolutionist says looks like it's leveled out at a new low. We will be talking about new supports and resistance levels as well, Revolutionist. Marlon Jones says, need to start looking for the unforkable, non-proof of work except Bitcoin. Tired of temperamental devs printing money like central bank. David Tilbrook's in here says... No, Kaboom says David Tilbrook, and Marlon says looking for an unforkable POW except Bitcoin. Shout out to Marlon. Jojo Wave, good morning. I see you. D-Rock. I see you. Revolutionist says, Marlon, I agree. I only buy proof of stake now. Also, 3/4 of the proof of work is just managed by 7 companies out there. We've heard the critiques, the criticisms against this proof of work system. Some saying it's centralized. Let's see how really centralized things are. I think there's a lot of hype with the fake Toshi saying he has more mining power than what he claims to have. So let's see. We'll be talking about these new support and resistance levels in just a moment. Mark Jackson says Bitcoin going to 3,500. I doubt that, but we'll be discussing what I think the pocket's going to be at. Shout out to Two Tacos and the rest of the boomers. And this indeed is a live broadcast. Champagne Crypto, the voice of the blockchain here. Has the Bitcoin dust settled? And what are the new support and resistance levels? Now, I told you guys, wait, till Friday. Let's see if things spring back up. I've been identifying a target zone all throughout the summer and into the crypto winter of $5,800 to about $8,000. Now, the price dipped under 58, and I was expecting perhaps maybe things to swing back up to 6,000 by Friday. That hasn't occurred. At the same time, the price hasn't dipped any lower than 5. So, like promised, I believe that we're going to have to readjust our bags now. We've gotten into new waters where no crypto maniac has swam before. This is a new situation here with these forks, with the hash wars, and with the loss of confidence by some of the mainstream media here with the cryptos. Are we going to see some of the fiat injected in the cryptocurrency space as some might expect here for Q4 or Q1? I don't think so. Okay, I told you guys, I don't think the price is going to go much lower. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But as far as a kaboom, we may have to wait for summer, fall, or even towards 2020 when that new Bitcoin halving will occur. Shout out to Mark Jackson's been saying 3,500 for months now, and you've been wrong for months now. You've been wrong, Mark. We're still in the $5,000 range. Marlon Jones says masternodes merge mining with proof of stake should rule crypto, and it will. You may want to look into Dash then. It's a hybrid of proof of work and proof of stake. Although the barriers to entry with those masternodes are higher than some may like. Rafterman says, to me, to accumulate long-term thinking, really rich people think in 5, 10, and 20-year frames. Indeed. I think only Bitcoin has a chain long enough to survive hash wars in the long run, says Marlon. And I don't think anything's going to happen to Bitcoin. There's only one Bitcoin. And that leads me to this entertaining video meme that I came across here on Reddit. Coincidence that they're using the 300 Spartans here to represent Bitcoin. Remember where you saw the 300 Spartan first. So let me play this for you guys. There's only one Bitcoin. And this is linked down below.
It does look like rain.
Zeus stabs the sky with thunderbolts and batters the Persian ships with hurricane wind. Only one among us keeps his Spartan reserve. Only he. Only our king.
There you go. There's only one Bitcoin. There's only one Bitcoin. Link down below. Check that out. Indeed. Indeed. Let's talk about these new support and resistance levels that I've identified here. I redrew the chart here, and you could see that the channel here between the support and the resistance level has narrowed. Okay, it's a lot tighter, and it's actually aiming lower than it was before. So let's go ahead and zoom in and see what the tops and the bottoms are here for the support and the resistance that I've identified over here. You could see here supports about 6,000. I would say a little bit over 6,000, and then resistance a little over 5,000. So let's go ahead and round this out. And this, I think, this is the pocket we're going to be in till further notice, if you ask me. The $5,000 and $6,000 range. The $5,000 and $6,000 range. I think the volatility here with crypto is actually going to be less. I would think there's going to be more tighter trading in between the $5,000 and $6,000 range until further notice. I do not think that the price will dip any lower than $5,000. I'll tell you that. This isn't a readjustment from my support levels of 58. I told you it was a possibility we'll touch 55, and I was expecting things to spring back up. But, you know, we've identified that $58,000 to $8,000 range for the entire summer and going into the crypto winter. Things didn't hold. Things didn't hold. So we're readjusting our targets now, and our target ranges are a lot more narrow. Like I said, now they're between $5,000 and $6,000. You could see a pretty strong support here after the candles went 90 degrees. It stopped around $5,200. So somewhere around above 5,000, I think there's a strong support after that meltdown or whatnot. There was a strong attack there on the left flank. A lot of baby bear cubs were scrambling. A lot of funny bunnies were scared. Shout out to the bunnies out there. Snipe them out the box out here. Are you still rocking with champagne? Are you a $3,500 propagandist like Mark Jackson? I hope not, Mark. I'm not rocking with you when you're saying $3,500, but I respect your opinion, and you're welcome to drop those comments there if you like. I just simply disagree. I would say things will be holding between $5,000 and $6,000 until further notice. Okay, I don't think that things are going to be an attack. Rafterman says 4,800 is his target. You know, my bottom's 5,000, so it's close. You know, it's close enough. We'd be surprised. Perhaps maybe we'll be stuck at 55 for some time. Weak hands being pulled out. Yeah, a lot of weak hands, a lot of newbies, a lot of normies, a lot of NPCs out there. They're scrambling. They don't know what's happening, and they probably don't have long-term confidence in the bits out here like the boomers do. We're here for 2020 and beyond. Shout out to my long gunners out there, my snipers out there in the foxholes, weathering these crypto storms. I see all you guys, Marlon, Derek, Lucian, Queen's Racist, Boss Lady, I see you. This is Sparta indeed, D-Rock and Patient Potato. Boomers that have been here since the beginning out there. I don't think you guys are shaking in your bones like some of these baby bear cubs out there. Dancing and prancing out there. We don't believe the $3,000 range, I'll tell you that much. I was definitely, you know, accepting of the price dropping under 6,000. I told you it was always a possibility. And here we are holding it at 55.38 indeed. David, your comment got flagged there because YouTube is soft. Let me go ahead and show it. He says they're gun-shy bees. Indeed. Queen's Racist says my bottom is 5K also, but maybe 4,800 the lowest. Yeah, you know, that's just a couple $100 in variance. You know, my bottom is now 5,000. I'll agree with you, Queens. Maybe in this trend for 4 a month or longer, Queens, or longer. I think we're going to be in this pocket. Again, let me go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see it. Even zoom out even more for the year to date. And there it is. You can see here for the major kaboom, the all-time high. And if you look at the chart here, I mean, one could argue that it's kind of finding a price right now, the bits. Readjusted all the lines here, resistance and support. $5,000 and $6,000 if you ask Champagne. Shout out to Dolphin 134 Kaboom, another high-ranking official out there. I see Dolphin. Marlins owns 125 Dash and buying. Yeah, you know, Dash, if you like master nodes and proof of stake or whatnot, you know, Dash is one that has proved itself to weather a lot of the storms out there. You know, a lot of the other master nodes, the baby ones, you know how I feel about the baby bear cub coins. Some may boom, some may not. You're playing with fire out there. But with Dash, you know, that's something that arguably will stay around for some time. And if I'm not mistaken, I think some people in Venezuela have been adopting Dash as well. Cardano stakeholders will delegate their coins to a staking pool, and stakeholders should expect around 4% per year from what I've seen so far, says the Revolutionist. We're going to have to talk more about that proof of stake system with Cardano. I'm interested to see how it works in comparison to the EOS proof of stake system where the 21 block producers and the elections or whatnot. Is there there going to be any elections? Is this a delegated proof of stake, or is it directly a proof of stake? Because some say proof of stake is EOS, but EOS is not directly a proof of stake. It's a delegated proof of stake where you have the delegates working as the block producers. So, perhaps maybe Cardano's directly proof of stake where anyone, well, there you go, delegate their coins to a staking pool. So, I don't know about the delegated proof of stake. I'll be honest with you. I'm starting to call it into question. And I know Steem has worked like that in the past. And, that could be arguably some of the problems with Steem or whatnot. But as time progresses and as we get closer to the new year, once this does settle, we could talk more about the Cardano proof of stake. Derek McLean says, Champ, did you hear about the crypto city being built in Las Vegas, all built on Ether? I've heard something about it, but I don't know the details out there, Derek, enough to talk about it. So, you reminded me about it, something I may have to look into. Thanks for reminding us. Marlon says, I have no doubt Cardano will upgrade to masternode system as crypto matures. Okay. D-Rock says, I bought when the market was sideways for weeks. Ain't nothing changing with me. I'm still stacking favorite crypto. Shout out to D-Rock. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. It's 1 Bitcoin. You still have the same amount of crypto that you had yesterday if you haven't sold. And that's what it is out there. Delegated proof of stake leads to a centralized coin. I don't know. But, again, I'm calling into question some of the delegated proof of stake. And listen, as much as people in the population of the chat box now are supporting proof of stake, it has flaws and holes in it. We're probably going to have to do a whole discussion against, discussing POS against proof of work. I was definitely one that was on the POS train for some time now. But the more I'm, educating myself, I see that there is a lot of value in POW, even when some may argue that there's centralization with the mining power or whatnot, even with the hash wars going on. And again, I think that's an argument and a discussion for another stream in its entirety. That's something we can dedicate an hour plus to. D-Rock says, what's your thought on the market moving so violently based on the hash power these big dogs have? We don't need regulation, but it's looking kind of centralized when it's manipulated. Again, I think that the market moving so violently, I mean, really, did it move that violently? I mean, how much did it move? Did it move any more than $1,000, $1,500? I think that all these headlines and the negative press that people are ingesting this week makes things appear more severe than they really are. Bitcoin's kind of holding the line out there. And, I'm not believing the meltdown and the problems as much as some of the other media outlets are reporting them. I think that, obviously, there is things that should be addressed, things as far as the centralization with the mining power and the hash wars or whatnot. But is it as severe as everybody's trying to make it look? I think that the media, is trying to leverage the negativity to get more views, if you ask me. We don't need regulation out there, D-Rock. But they want you to believe that. When things go wrong, the normies, the first thing they want to go and they want Big Daddy to come and pat them on the back. Big Daddy is not going to do any better than the people that are mining, that are trying to be centralized. So regulation, in my personal opinion, is never the answer, if you ask me. Maybe you never say never, but I'll say the majority of the time, the super majority of the time, regulation is not the answer. Eventually, a few stakeholders have all the power of over the chain and again subjected to 51% attack, thus need for the masternode system. And you can argue the same thing with proof of stake and masternodes. See, what a lot of people don't get, and this is for the majority of normies out there and people that want complete decentralization. Although those could be the ideals, I've talked to you guys before about this. There will never be a completely decentralized system, just like there will never be a completely centralized system that's just run by one node. Okay, maybe it will be online for a little bit, but there will be attacks. So what we're seeing here is degrees in variance that slide over to decentralization and slide over to centralization. So it's a variance in degree, never in its absolute out there. And this is just a fact of life here with nature. Now, furthermore, okay, when you're talking about decentralization in nature, invite you guys to study the Pareto principle. There is no complete decentralization in nature. The Pareto principle states that it's an 80-20 rule. Okay, 20% runs the majority of the network as opposed to the 80% that doesn't have any power. And usually power kind of distributes itself this way, 80-20. And all of nature, you could see, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But this is something that you could see not only in within animals and the law of the jungle, but just look up in the stars. The majority of space, 80% is a vacuum, but then you see the stars and the planets or whatnot congregate in 20% of the space. So the Pareto principle's there. And I think that those that, are idealists and complete utopians, they think that there will be that there's a chance for a perfectly decentralized system, or the opposite, that there's a chance for a utopia that's a centralized system, and neither will reign supreme, guys. So this is a matter of degrees out here. And I think the system that we're in right now with the financial legacy system is way more centralized than even Bitcoin is, with 7 or 8 miners. I mean, the IMF, the centralized bank, those are arguably 1 or 2 entities, a small amount of people. So do you want to run on the fiat system, or do you want to run on a proof of work system? So, those are things that we could argue, we could talk about in further broadcasts or whatnot. But don't sleep on the Pareto principle out there. Mark D says crypto is fine. Looks like Bitcoin is the problem. Let's see, Mark D. I'm not believing the hype against Bitcoin. The Revolution says Cardano's proof of stake adds delegation pool. Its model does not reduce or centralize pools. Okay, I don't have enough information about the POS model with Cardano and its delegation to make a proper comment on that. I'm gonna have to learn more. Rafterman says personal responsibility. Hold your private keys. You got it, Rafterman. Be your own man out there. Handle your own keys. D-Rock says no. I'm not saying we need regulations. Yeah, but you questioned it. You mentioned it, and that's maybe we do agree we don't need regulations, but definitely that's a word that comes up once things don't start working out for people. They start throwing that word around. We don't even need that word. Throw it out the box. Also, have introduced randomness to masternode selection for processing transactions to ensure decentralization. Marlon's all about masternodes. We got the point, Marlon. Masternodes, we got you. Revolutionist says there will be over 1,000 Cardano delegation pools compared to proof of work, in which 3/4 is managed by only 7 companies. Again, that's something that we're going to have to do some research on so that I can learn more. Derek McLean says Dan and Stan proved that crypto doesn't need proof of work or mining. Again, like I said, that's an argument that we could have. I've stayed tuned in to both Dan and Stan, his father, and there's some solid arguments with proof of work and proof of stake. They're in favor of POS. But again, I've said this before, with proof of stake, it's easier to collude. Okay. You don't need to remine all the blocks. Okay. You could, if you collude with the majority of the block producers, you could go ahead and replace the blocks without doing the actual work. And we could talk about that, like I said, on another stream. Champ, you really need to check out Matrix AI. Theoretically, have produced a decentralized, scalable blockchain using POS, masternodes, and AI system for random selection. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not really interested in any baby bear masternodes, Marlon. I'm not right now. I'm weathering this storm with the big dog pit bulls out here. I'm not convinced. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not convinced, but I got my eyes on it, and I'm definitely not gonna ignore it. Cracky916 says hi, kaboom! Shout out to Cracky out there. Double X says good morning, crypto brothers. Better days to come. Don't sell low. I agree. I think that there is better days to come, although we may have to wait longer than some may expected. Don Matthew says Bitcoin will come out fine in the long run. Ripple, Cardano, Stellar, Digibyte, and a few others will reign supreme, while many of the ones now will die off. I'm not a believer in Ripple at all. Cardano, I like. Stellar, I'm giving it a pass, but I know that it's Ripple's little cousin, so I got my eyes close on it. I'm not convinced with that one either. Digibyte, we have some shillers there. Way more shillers about a couple months ago with Digibyte than I see now. But I still haven't lost faith in Digibyte. Marlon says Matrix is working on a testnet, and we will see real-world scalable decentralization when mainnet is released. Okay. Mark D says zero interest in masternodes. Yeah, I'm not too interested in masternodes right now. I know Marlon is, and we'll leave it to Marlon to do that on his channel. D-Rock says, I said we don't need regulations, but it's looking centralized when a few with this much hash power can manipulate the price. It was more of a comment about Bitcoin being decentralized or not. Yeah. And, you know, again, I think that maybe from your end, you think the price is being manipulated more than it is. I don't know if it's direct manipulation. I think that this is actually the market expressing itself. I'm not buying into the complete centralization of Bitcoin. I'm not completely buying into it. I think that there's more hype than there really is. Like, for instance, fake Toshi over there, Craig Wright says that he's secretly mining blocks, and that he's also Satoshi, and it's a lot of hype. He hasn't proved anything. Okay, so, you know, they're saying they got all this mining power, but we actually haven't seen it. Okay, so no, that's what it is. I don't believe the hype out there, D-Rock. I'm going to be honest with you. You know me. I like to verify, not trust. Bitcoin's value comes from a store of value. Coins that are peer-to-peer cash currency are not as big as a market and are just hype. Okay. Marlon says, it's not about masternodes. It's about building a blockchain that solves all the drama and serious issues that threaten crypto. Imagine a blockchain that will make Craig Wright and Jihan Wu irrelevant. And I think that's Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin already survived the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. How many forks of Bitcoin is there? Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Unlimited, Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. And after all of that, Bitcoin Core, the number one, the same Bitcoin is still on top. So, I think that this is, I think this week, our attention has been taken away from the focus out here, which is that Bitcoin is a sound cryptocurrency. I think that there's some propaganda going on out there. I'm not believing the hype. Let's wait for the dust to settle. That's what I'm going to be doing. At the top dogs like Bitcoin and Ethereum have an early start. Although top dogs like Bitcoin and Ethereum have an early start, I would advise that you don't become too attached, as faster economic models will climb the ladder and replace old tech. That's absolutely possible, revolutionists. And again, I would advise not to become too attached just to a speculation when it comes to something like Cardano, because it hasn't actually proved itself. It's a lot more promise than something like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has weathered a lot of storms out there. It has weathered a lot of storms. And I'm going to tell you that, although the price took a little dip right now, I think that, from the outside looking in, it's probably is more severe for those that are holding the bags than those from the outside looking in. It's not that bad of a dip right now, guys. I really don't think so. I think that after this run up that we saw, it's probably normal for the price to kind of balance out there, but only time will tell. And that's not to say that, you may not be right there, revolutionists. Economic models can be replaced. So let's see. Kaboom! Couch Cash says, thanks for the good info. And kaboom to Rafterman R for the $2. I don't have the same amount as yesterday. I have more. I like that positive attitude out there, Rafterman out there. He's stacking more crypto coins out there and booming for the long run. Rafterman with his daily $2 there in the population of the chat box. I appreciate you, Rafterman. Let me throw a little coins off the ceiling out there. Bitcoin still theoretically subject to a 51% attack. Matrix will not be and can't be forked. Okay, let's see. I've heard it all out there. I mean, every few months, wasn't it like a few months ago, Elastos was the one, and then, then it's this one, and then it's that one. So like, I always hear the new coin that's better than Bitcoin, but even Bitcoin Cash was supposedly the better Bitcoin, but still, no coin has superseded Bitcoin. So, I'm not convinced out there, Marlon. Maybe personally, I'm more of a Bitcoin maximalist than some of the boomers here in the box. But let's see. I don't want to get too attached either. I do agree with revolutionists. You never know. Some other tech may come and replace it. But right now, I'm not seeing it. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Rafterman says, give me a bomb. Kaboom to Rafterman. Here's a bomb for you, Rafterman. Thank you for the $2. Rafterman with his daily $2. Do you have $2 on it on the super chat today? After the Bitcoin dust, has it settled? And what are our new support and resistance levels? I let you guys know. You can check my chart here. It's readjusted. I think 6,000 and 5,000 is the range, between 5 and 6. So it's a narrow channel right now that we're going to be trading until further notice. Until further notice out there. Shout out to Marlon out there. Thanks for your input. I agree. I don't always agree with you, but I appreciate you, Marlon. Keep booming. And guys, you know, Marlon is looking at other coins, Matrix. He's looking at Masternodes, things that I'm not looking at. So you may want to check out his channel. He may be covering something that Champagne's not covering. So, you know, that's how we do it here. Each one teach one every day in the population of the chat box. I appreciate you. Kaboom to Couch Cash. Boom, $10 there in the population of the chat box. More fiat dropping off the ceiling. Couch Cash. I appreciate you. I don't see you often here, Couch Cash. I think I've seen you a couple times, but you're coming out the shadows here to drop a little fiat in the super chat, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Keep booming out there. Mark D says the chart looks good on Stellar and Ripple upward trajectory. You know, like, you know, if you've been following me, Mark, you know, I'm not convinced with Ripple nor Stellar at this moment. Elastos is for security of internet. We need more research in the box. Indeed, we do. And that's why I invite all these competing ideologies and, you know, new information, because I can't cover it all out here, Marlon. You're right. We need more research in the box. And I encourage more people to put out more videos. And, you know, I can't do it all out here. I can't do it all out here. Marlon, check out IronX, as it will be the first exchange on Cardano's platform. You've mentioned that before, Revolutionist. IronX, do they have a token or whatnot, or how does that work? Matrix and Elastos look to solve different issues with blockchain. The coins that are solving these issues will be huge. And let me tell you something. Elastos, I still like it. I mean, you were one that brought that into my radar, and that one's actually one that I'm interested in, and that's why I've done videos on it or whatnot. Matrix, I haven't checked out in its entirety. Again, and you're not the only one that's pushing coins to me, Marlon. I got messages left and right, and you know, sometimes I check them out, sometimes I don't, and you know, I'm doing my best out here. Revolutionist says it's still in ICO. Okay, okay. So it's going to be a coin, that IronX. 40 crypto maniacs here in the box. It looks like has the dust settled? I think it's a little too early to call, but I said let's wait till Friday, and things didn't go back to 6,000. I think, you know, we needed to readjust our resistance and support levels. So here we are, right smack dead in the middle of the new target zone that we've identified. 5,000 the low, 6,000 the high. We're right in the middle at 55. Indeed. Guys, today we're going to be doing a self-improvement live stream after this live stream that I'm about to start wrapping up here. And that self-improvement, we're going to be doing this every Friday. We started last Friday. And in that self-improvement live stream, we're going to be talking about all the alternative frequencies that crypto has led us to. Okay? Crypto, diet, exercise, okay, strength lifting, overall open discussions out there. Last time people started talking about time traveling, and you know, I came across a headline here that was interesting. It reminded me about that time traveling that we were talking about. But wait till the next live stream. I'm going to do it right after this one. So if you're interested in general self-improvement, becoming a stronger man out there, a better person, I invite you to stay with us. Stay with us. After this live stream, I'll pop back up about 5-10 minutes later after I put a thumbnail up, and we'll be talking about strength training. We'll be talking about diet, eating better, and overall general ways to self-improve. Because as much drama that has occurred this week in crypto, you know, the volatility is still low. I mean, we've moved from, what, 63 down to 55, and people are saying all these things. I'm not buying it. I think that this is, since things have been silent since about September, the first time we get some movement out here, people start talking again. People are thirsty for blood. They want action out here, and they can't just settle down and wait and be patient, it appears. So in that time, in the meantime, and in between time, we're going to be doing these live streams on Friday, an ancillary content. We'll be talking about ways to improve ourselves to look like 300 crypto Spartans by the end of the year and beyond. Revolution, it says IronX is a part of Iron FX stock market, which is a fiat and bond-based market. And so that money will have access to the crypto market via IronX. Thanks for letting us know. I have never heard of IronX, and you're letting us know it's an exchange there for Cardano, or built on top of our first exchange on Cardano's platform. Thanks for letting us know. I think the biggest markets for cryptos are store of value exchanges and smart contract platforms. If you buy coins that are in these markets, you'll be rich in the long run, says Derek. And thanks for your input. And I've, shared my input as far as the big markets, the big blockchain industries that are going to, I expect to move up in value. And that video is linked down below. Top 5 blockchain industries that I expect to move up in value. The gaming industries being is one of those, decentralized exchanges, privacy tokens, and more. So check that out. What's your thoughts on Q payment? Says Couch Cash. The Q initiative is what you're referring to. That seems like fake crypto. I'm going to be honest with you. If it's not mineable, if there's no proof of work, or if there's not a direct proof of stake system that we can trust and verify, then I'm not into it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not into it. I think it's funny bunny. It's counterfeit crypto. The same goes with the stable coins. We've talked about the stable coins yesterday, all these new stable coins that are coming up to the market. Can you stake them? Can you mine them? Probably not. It sounds like counterfeit crypto out there. It's just, fake crypto, if you ask me. What's the proof of work or the proof of stake behind the blockchain that's giving it its value out there? That's the big question. So, if we're talking about the same thing, Q initiative, it's fake crypto, in my opinion. Again, Champagne, it's not a pro. I'm not your crypto daddy out here. I'm giving out my opinion. If you disagree with it, then that's just too bad out there. But it is what it is. The whole channel should be called Champagne's Opinion. The voice of the blockchain here. Bitcoin dust looks like it may have settled. We'll see. New support between $5,000 and $6,000. I'll take a few more comments and questions out here before I go ahead and tune out and get ready for our second live stream of the day, where we'll be talking about other things aside from crypto. Drop a comment before we tune out. And let me go ahead and share this video meme with you one more time before we tune out, just for the fact that they're using the 300 crypto Spartan. And, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. To me, there's only one Bitcoin. And I'll keep plugging it, for as long as I am convinced otherwise. I think Bitcoin is the superior coin, not because of the tech, because of the first mover advantage, because of the overall confidence that it's instilled for 10 years now. Okay, let's see if a superior model will arise. And if it does, it's going to take some time for it to, grow roots and survive longer than 10 years. So let's see. Definitely, I believe that Bitcoin is already the world's global reserve currency. And, it's just probably gone over a lot of people's heads. Kaboom out there. To Marlon Jones, Bulls on the Block. Marlon's one of our first boomers. Marlon's been rocking with me out here. I know you, Marlon. You've been with me since literally the beginning. I've seen you, maybe not the very beginning, but I've seen you here longer than most of the boomers here in the box. I appreciate you, Marlon. Thank you. Research and think about if project is solving problems, and look for if there is or will be real demand with the blockchain before dumping money in. And indeed, you got to do your due diligence and see if there's an actual demand. Is it going to be used? Is there going to be a community? So you make some good points out there, Marlon. I appreciate you. Thanks for throwing 5 on it. I know it's not your only 5. You dropped a few $5 greenbacks here in the population of the chat box. Thanks again, Marlon. Keep booming out there. Do you guys got 5 on it? Marlon's up the ante out here. He's got 5 on it here in the population of the chat box. Thanks once again. Revolution says great prices to buy at. Indeed, it's a great price to buy it if you ask me. I mean, especially if you're in this. I mean, maybe not for the short term. There's still some, arguably things could change. We're under attack right now. But for the mid to long term, I'm still bullish with the bits, guys. I am still bullish with the bits out here. By 2020, I do believe that we will meet or exceed all-time highs of $20,000. Thanks again, Marlon. Mac Jamin says I'm all out of fiat for the year and don't even bother checking out new projects anymore. But I did hear Lark's Digitex Futures interviews while washing dishes. If I can scrape together a few bucks, I'm buying. Jesus, brilliant. I don't know anything about it. I've heard of Digitex futures, but I didn't see the interview. I have no idea. I can't chime in. So thanks for letting us know. Maybe somebody else has checked it out. Derek says, in 5 years, the only thing you'll regret is that you didn't buy more. Hopefully, Derek, hopefully. Rafterman says, long-term thinking. Indeed. Boss Lady says, I'm pretty sure Horizon has the highest number of nodes right now and only 42 Zen for secure node. Now, Horizon is a rebrand is it Zcash? I'm kind of going blank right now. I know that you're a boomer on one of those coins, on one of those, is it Z Classic, Zcash, Zen? I'm kind of going blank out there, Boss Lady, but you may want to let us know. Horizon's formerly what coin? You're saying that it has the highest number of nodes right now. Thanks for letting us know. Contribution to Baby Champ's Bitcoin Fund. We in the box want him to be a crypto whale by 2035. Indeed. Indeed. Thanks again, Marlon. I appreciate you. Boss Lady says Zen Cash. Okay, so Zen Cash rebranded to Horizon. Okay, only 42 Zen for a secure node. Okay, so you may want to check that out, Marlon, for a secure node. I know you're interested in nodes. And, you know, something like Zen Cash has been around. And I know Boss Lady's bullish with it, so you guys may want to talk about that. And let me know if it's a boomer or not. We want him to be a crypto whale by 2035. We read that. Thank you. Thank you, Marlon. Horizon is Zen Cash. Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up, Boss Lady and Mac. Revolutionist is asking, Boss Lady, do you earn much with a master node? Specifically that Zen Cash, I think Revolutionist is asking about. We'll wait for her response and a few more comments and questions before I tune out here of this broadcast. Again, stick with me. The next broadcast will be coming sooner than later. We'll be talking about we'll have an open discussion here on Friday, and we'll talk about diet, crypto, exercise, and overall ways to become a better boomer out there. Derek's asking, Champ, how do you feel about Ether? I'll tell you, I'm not as bullish on Ether as I used to be. Okay. I still got a bag and I'm still a believer. You know, I still think that it has its upside. But, you know, it's not nice to see Ether taken over by Ripple today. I'll tell you this much, Derek. Ether Classic is looking sexier than Ether is right now to me. But I'm not holding Ether Classic bags. I got Ether. You know, it is what it is. I still like it, but I'm worried the tech is old. Yeah. You know, I think Ether, you know, has more problems in the long run than Bitcoin has. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I think they need to scale more. I think they have a more of a feat to survive than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's already been around for a while. Trying to set up a Horizon node but can't get wallet to download, says Marlon. Okay. Boss Lady says, same ticker symbol, Zen. It varies, Revolutionist, but has remained profitable. Okay. Smart Cash and Horizon go back and forth between highest number of master nodes, says Marlon. I didn't know that, but I was on the Smart Cash train for you know, some time before. I know that I was on that train. I think I did some videos on Smart Cash as well because they were I think we were staking Smart Cash or whatnot. I'm kind of going blank, but I remember being on that train. So it's interesting that you point that out. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and tune out. Stick with me, okay? I'll be back in a few minutes, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes. I'll put up a new thumbnail. I'll get some water here, and we'll have an open discussion about things aside of crypto, ways to become better boomers. I hope Boss Lady jumped into the gym. If you could come back on the next stream, let us know what you've been doing out there. We're trying to encourage everybody to become better boomers out there. Self-improvement all around. Looking like 300 crypto Spartans by the end of the year. We got to hold the line when we get attacked on the left and right flank out here by the hash wars and the funny bunnies out there. Snipe them out the box. All right, guys. Boss Lady's suggesting that you hit up Horizon help desk for assistance with wallet and nodes, etc. Okay. And Derek says he agrees Bitcoin doesn't need to scale because it's mainly a store of value. Ether needs to scale because it has dApps built on it. I agree with you 1,000 on that one, Derek. I agree. That's why I think Ether needs to do more to stay alive than Bitcoin does. That's what it is. I'll leave it with that, guys. The day's not over. Champagne will be back in a few. Stick with me, and we'll be back with that second live stream. Okay? Make sure you hit the likes and stick with me. I'll be back, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. Shout out to Boss Lady, Marlon Jones, Derek, Revolutionist, Marlon, Boss Lady, Mac, and the rest of the boomers there, Queens Races, and everybody else that dropped, Rafterman, everybody else that dropped in the super chat. I appreciate all you maniacs. Stay booming out there, and I'll be back in a few minutes. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin. Thank you again, Couch Cash, for that $10 donation. I appreciate you. Damn champ, I'm going to do some squats right now. Hurry up, do them, and come back. We'll be back in a few minutes. Rock with me, guys. I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll do a whole new live stream, and we'll talk about ancillary content. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in.